A Portland pirate stole a fire and rescue boat, took it on a 40-mile joyride up the Columbia River with police right on their tails. This is what we're getting into today, the Portland Pirates. It's a new form of criminal activity that we haven't covered before. It's happening. I've talked about it in Oakland. It's going on like gangbusters there. Here we go. And who doesn't like a good pirate story? Ahoy, matey. Yeah, right. Pirates of the Columbia. Suspect steals Portland fire and rescue boat, escapes downriver. Yeah. Okay. So let me show you where this is. So I didn't get the exact location, but I believe it's fireboat number 21. Fireboat 21 that's in downtown Portland. That's on the Willamette River down here. So because we don't have a boat route available on Google Maps, this individual swam across the Willamette River. I'll blow this up for you here just a little bit. Swam across the Willamette River to the other side, got into the boat and took it up the Willamette River, hooked up to the Columbia, and then just throttled down all the way up to Kalama, Port of Kalama, very small town on the Columbia River. Where is this in general? Well, there it is. There's Portland. You can go all the way out to the mouth of the Pacific Ocean right there. That's the graveyard of the Pacific right there. So where was this guy going? What was he doing? What was his end goal? We haven't found out yet. We don't know what the full story is. A suspect stole a Portland fire and rescue boat and commandeered down the Columbia River. Portland Fire and Rescue stated that a rescue boat 21 was taken from the boathouse by an unauthorized user. You know what's crazy is keys were nearby. So the guy broke into the boat. Keys were right there. Do you think they might have a little bit of reworking of their security there? Those should not just be able to get on the boat, go, right? As of 6:45 a.m., a pursuit by local law enforcement and the Coast Guard was happening. Was this guy in a bender of drugs? Probably. We had a marina. I've talked about a marina in Seattle. It's very close to the Ship Canal Bridge encampment that was cleared out. Well, one of the Ship Canal Bridge encampment residents wandered in just high as F to a marina and set it on fire and lit up a 55 boat, something like that. So, homeless and boats, they don't mix. They do not mix. So Portland Fire and Rescue said the boat was traveling downstream the Columbia River by 7:20 a.m. It was reported that the suspect had abandoned the boat in Kalama, Washington, and fled on foot, and that the boat was drifting on the water. He did not tie it off with, figure eight and all that nonsense. No, sirree. Didn't even, throw a bowline on there, whatever it is that you might want to consider for your making sure your boat doesn't float away. But this guy gave 0 F's. He's like, there's somebody chasing me. It's a cop. Got to go. Got to get out of here. I keep going back to number one, why would you choose basically this boat? I mean, what's it going to have on it that you're going to be able to strip? And the outboards, okay, 2 strong outboards, yeah, I get it. But you take a private party's boat, they're going to have way more stuff that's going to be fensible. So from that standpoint, it's like, okay, what are you doing here? Was this guy literally just hopped up on who knows what? I've been reading a lot about pirates in Oakland. In Oakland, they've basically got one dude that knows how to drive the police boat. So they've got all these estuaries, because you got San Francisco and then you got Oakland. All this waterway area in Oakland is just basically, it's wide open. They've had a lot of issues with people taking their boats there and sinking them. And it costs a lot of money, not only just money, but the environmental mess that it makes. But you don't see a ton of theft. Even here in Seattle, we don't have a ton of theft of, number one, boats. Because in Seattle, you're basically locked out of Puget Sound by the locks. And so that kind of leaves a couple of big lakes. But, if somebody wants to chase you down, they're probably going to find you. Columbia River, yeah, if you get out to the ocean, world's your oyster. But that's a long run. We saw how far that was. So that guy got what? Halfway? Another 40 miles. He might be out there, but no can do. So, where was he going to go? Was he going to go up one of these inlets and try and hide out in his fire? Did you see a fireboat go by? Oh yeah, it's right up there. I mean, just the craziness. This has to have been some guy hopped up on something, because this story makes no sense. If you've got a storyline that makes sense, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what you're thinking. So the distance between Portland and Kalama would make this a 40-mile long piracy attempt. Yeah. He was going to Hawaii. Maybe he was going to Hawaii. Who knows? Now, a boat can't make it there, right? You need fuel. The only boats that go to Hawaii are either massive ones or sailboats, because they can get there. Whereas gas power, you just don't have a tank big enough to make that haul. A KATU photojournalist on the scene in Kalama captured a law enforcement vessel towing the abandoned Portland Fire and Rescue boat back to land. Multnomah County Sheriff's Office told KATU shortly after that a suspect had been taken into custody. They chased him down. They've thrown him in jail. I'm sure he'll be let out by now. He's roaming around another boatyard. What can I find? What can I take? What rowboat can I take? What can I take? So yeah, crazy, right? Let's watch a little video. Actually, I'm just going to play it. Oh yeah, we've got this. There's the prop. That prop is hosed. You would not want to drive that boat with that prop on it. Yeah, it would not respond well. That would be a hard no-go. So it sounds like they replaced the prop, and if that was the only thing, they got lucky. But clearly they drove it into rocks or something in the riverbed. So not ideal. All right, so here's a quick video of what that looks like hauling that boat back up. There it is, being towed, going all the way back. That's a long tow. Probably told it back to its original. They're going to work on it there, or somebody's going to work on it somewhere. Either which way, it's got to go. It's got to get towed back 40 miles. That is not going very fast. That's going to take a long, long time, right? What a story. But you're starting to hear more and more marine stories because, I mean, theft is theft, right? Theft is theft. So does it really matter where you do it? Yeah, I think the criminals got to figure that out. Down in Oakland, it sounds like they have, because there are stories about somebody with a machete going after people in the marina, hopping other people's boats. Talk about people renting spots, coming back a week later, 4 months later. And that's pretty common for boats. Yeah, that's why you see all these boats down in Florida. People use them during the good weather, but then during hurricane season, oh yeah, I forgot about that. And then they go back and their boat's just gone. People park their boat, they moor their boat, they put it in their slip. And down in Oakland, they come back and somebody's living on it. Yeah, you imagine that? Oh, that's not good. It's like somebody living in your car. That's not going to work out well. We do hear stories about that. Is one of, I talked to the owner of the marina that I have my boat at. His greatest concern is somebody breaking in through the front door and then getting into one of the boats and basically claiming that that is their home and not being able to be thrown out, or somebody renting the boat and it just goes sideways and can't get them out. Can cause enormous headaches for a marina, because now you've got this one rogue individual. Everybody else just wants to run their boat and do, live their lives and go out in the water and kind of do their own thing. But I think, why wouldn't we have these crimes on the water now? Why wouldn't we? Because they're not being prosecuted on land. And there's fewer cops out on water. So I think these criminals are getting smart. One of my theories is a lot of them can't swim. Hey now, what? Can't swim. So they don't like the water. Right. And then I've always thrown this out there. Tents don't float. So, there's that. You add that to the equation and you've got a little story. But I think most folks, if you've never been around the boating environment, you wouldn't know to swim onto a vessel and start her up, or how to start her up and how to get it going down the road. And then where are you going to take it? I mean, it's not like the freeway system where you can just and you got a million cars and you've only got a handful of boats out in any given area. Pretty easy to pick one off. Now you might say, well, you're going to go hide it under some brush. All right. Then what are you going to do? You know, you could trailer this boat. That's not a huge boat, but a pretty big trailer. Not small boats, you know, a couple of big outboards. That's going to be heavy. You're not going to use probably your 150 to haul that bad boy. You need something a little bit bigger. Those fire rescue boats, they're heavy. They're heavy duty. I mean, they're solid. They're meant for, you know, putting out fires and doing rescue stuff. So they're heavy duty, and those engines are big and they're strong, and they weigh a bunch. So it's not like you can I'll just pull it out with my regular, you know, vehicle and away we go. A lot of different stuff to contend with here. But my whole point is you're going to hear more and more of these stories. And I am reading more and more of these stories about theft on the waterways, because that is literally, all right, I think they're figuring out, okay, we can do this on land, no problem. What about the water? I mean, new market, right? I mean, why wouldn't they would be the question. And I think that's what you're seeing. I don't know about this case though. I mean, this guy just sounds like you know, who knows what they were thinking there? Who knows? It's crazy. But you got a ton of people living in these little log huts and things along the Willamette River, you know, drug addicts, homeless, and criminals, straight up criminals living along that Willamette River with $1 million views of the condos across the river. They're out doing nefarious things, right? All right. That's it for me on this one, but expect to hear more about Portland's pirates, because there's going to be more stories. Somebody's going to be inspired by this news story, aren't they? Yeah, I can do that. Oh. All right. Thanks so much for being here. We'll catch up with you in the next one. Bye for now.